Leaders from different nations convened for the first day of United Nations General Assembly, the UNGA, which is happening in Manhattan. They spoke about many ongoing global crises. The one central issue was climate change. Let's take a look at what some of the leaders had to say. Starting right off with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He talked about the UN's aim to spur action by countries and companies whose climate plans were not in line with the global climate target. Guterres targeted countries' climate actions and whether or not they will be able to deliver on the Paris Agreement goal to limit the rise in global temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Every continent, every region, and every country is feeling the heat. But I'm not sure all leaders are feeling that heat. Actions are failing abysmally short. There is still time to keep rising temperatures within the 1.5 degree limits of the Paris Agreement, but that requires drastic steps now to cut greenhouse gas emissions and to ensure climate justice for those who did least to cause the crisis but are paying the highest price. We have 3 seats. G20 countries are responsible for 80% of greenhouse emissions. They must lead.
Moving on to Colombia, its President Gustavo Petro talked about the dangers of climate change and asked nations to rally against international wars. He called for peace summits to resolve conflicts in Ukraine and between Israel and the Palestinians, so that humankind can focus instead on addressing climate change. He also talked about the need to decarbonize economies.
Planificar la transición hacia la economía descarbonizada y financiarla. La economía descarbonizada será, no lo dudo, una economía más humana y justa. Por eso este presidente del país de la belleza les propone reformar el sistema financiero mundial, el FMI, la banca multilateral, acabar los bloqueos económicos y guiar los fondos del capital privado.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called for action against climate change in his address. He spoke about the worsening climate crisis and natural disasters, mentioning the recent earthquake in Morocco and floods in Libya.
Thank God, people have not yet learned to use climate as a weapon. Even though humanity is failing on its climate policy objectives, this means that extreme weather will still impact the normal global life, and some evil state will also weaponize its outcomes.
In his address, US President Joe Biden said that recent incidents of extreme weather have provided snapshots of the global climate crisis. Biden stressed the need to mobilize global resources to combat climate change, along with bolstering multilateral organizations to help poor and middle-income countries.
Record-breaking heat waves in the United States and China, wildfires ravaging North America and Southern Europe, a 5th year of drought in the Horn of Africa, tragic flooding in Libya. My heart goes out to the people of Libya. That's killed thousands of people. Together, these snapshots tell an urgent story of what awaits us if we fail to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and begin to climate-proof the world.